Hi, I'm Mihai John, and in this video I will explain how an air handling unit works. This air handling unit runs in a shopping center, and it's using a compressor group and a DX, and using 470 refrigerant to cool the premises, and also using a Resna Burner to heat the premises. This is a gas burner, and it runs on natural gas. I will explain how this air handling unit it works. I will not explain in detail how the cooling system works or how the Resna burner works. That will be on another video, which I will partition the unit in many sections, and I will explain to you section by section how the system works. However, if you want to work with the refrigerant, you have to be an F-gas engineer. Either way, if you want to work with Resna burner, you have to be a gas registered engineer. And otherwise, you can be an electrician or a mechanical bias, so you can repair the supply fans, changing belts, checking the dampers. But for these two specific jobs, for refrigerant and for gas, you have to have either F-gas license, and also you have to be a registered gas engineer. If you want to play with the building management control, you have to know a bit of BMS control, not about programming, but you can troubleshoot this one. This is all I want to say today. Thank you very much, and please subscribe to my video, and you'll see a lot of videos that I'm going to put into this YouTube, and they're free. And I hope I will share with some of you my experience, so I can learn a lot from you, but then I can share with you a lot of things I learn. And what can I say? I'm doing this type of jobs for about 10 years here in England, but I used to do this job in Australia, in the United States of America. I got a huge experience with all these systems, and I just want to make friends. Thank you.
Hi guys, my name is Mihai John, and this time I tried to design on the computer on that simple program, which is Paint. I didn't want to use a CAD or some other sophisticated things. As you will see here, we have an air handling unit which is using a DX coil and a group of compressors for cooling process, and the Resna burner, which is a gas burner, to heat the store. So this air handling unit has got the airflow duct, as you will see here. Then you get the return air duct that you will see right here. And then you have the supply fan, which supplies air into the duct. And you have this return air, which either way can help the air to be recirculated, or you can just exhaust the air outside the building. As you will see here, the yellow little box, it is a smoke alarm. And then you will have the Resna burner, which is right here. You'll see it. It's the Resna burner, and this is a gas burner, uses gas. You have the cooling group, the compressors, and also the DX, which is here. It's the evaporator. And also you have the BMS control panel, which got all this building management control and relays and contactors and inverters and everything you want. So now I want you to be with me while I explain to you how this system works. First, we have to make sure that this BMS control will ask the fan, the supply fan and the extractor fan to start not before you will check the dampers. So every time the system will wake up, the damper will assess themselves to make sure we have the appropriate air volume to be taken out or to be recirculated, the amount of fresh air that has to come inside accordingly to this CO2 sensor, and also to the store temperature and to the outdoor temperature, to make sure that we run the system very economical. Now, so just imagine I will use only a red arrow to sequence the system, and I want you to pay a little bit of attention. So just imagine these BMS control panels wake up, and it's asking to the system to run. Now, the first things the system does, you have, that's not a very good idea, but coming back, first we have this fresh air dampers. So I'm going to use only one little dot here. So the fresh air damper will be initiated and assessed, and the exhaust damper, and also will have the as you'll see here, we have the recirculating damper. So this is the first time the HU does. It's just assessing if the dampers are blocked, because sometimes they got mechanically seized, and it checking, then it will adjust the dampers to exhaust and to take fresh air inside and to recirculate a specific amount of air, just to get the system running very economically, using some time the outdoor air to heat or to cool the premises if it's summer or winter, to use as less as possible the compressor and the DX. So let's assume now that all these dampers are okay. The second problem, if there's not a smoke, if there's any smoke, if there's not any smoke alarm and it's all good, then I'm going to put it back. So if there's not any smoke alarm, the system is healthy, you will enable the fans. So you will have, I should use the red one, sorry. So you will start the supply and the extractor fan. Then if you run the extractor and the supply fan, the air will start circulating through the building. So we'll have a return, and then we have supply and return, and the air will circulate through the building. Now, in case you need to cool the store, the building management control will start the compressors. If you will look into the human machine interface or on the computer, which will get the information given by the building management control, and you'll find out you do not have the HP, LP oil, and the thermostat will demand that this cooling system will run. The compressor will start. Once the compressor will start, the condenser fans will start, because you know the refrigeration process will push through the discharge the hot gas into the condenser, and then the condenser will liquefy this refrigerant, which will go through a TX through a thermostatic expansion valve into this DX cooling coil. Now, I will use the blue color. So once the compressor start, so let's say the compressor start, they getting cold. Well, go back to red, sorry. So the compressor start, and then the DX will get cooler. If the DX get cooler, the cold air will get through this supply fan, and the air will start to cool down. So the warm air will come into the return air, and probably a percentage will be exhausted, and another percentage will be recirculated, and the quantity of fresh air will be sucked into the store via supply fan. So this air here will become cold. So this air will become quite cold. You will be sucked by the fan, and then the air will be cold. So that's the process of cooling. Now, just imagine you want heating into the system. Suddenly the temperature drop a lot outside, and the store getting very cold. Then obviously the building management control will stop the compressor. Once you stop the compressor, the DX will come back to its normal temperature, and the air will not be cooled. And the building management control obviously will recirculate the air, and you will bring, so it will recirculate the air, and you will bring the minimum amount of fresh air into the store, just to overcome the carbon dioxide issue. If the temperature drop too much, obviously the building management control will ask for the Resna Burner to run. Now we'll assume that the cold air it is circulating, because the store is very cold, and the return air comes very cold. If the return air is very cold, and the building management control will start the Resna immediately, assuming the Resna is in a healthy condition, is not tripped or is not faulty, it will start. So once the Resna burner start, then the air here will get warmer and will push warm air into the building. This is a very simple cycle. If you want to repair the Resna or to learn about the cooling process, I will do this on another video, because just imagine, I want to make a lot of videos and to explain step by step how this air handling unit works. Guys, one of the most important things which I didn't tell, when the building management control will start either the heating and the cooling, first we'll assess these differential pressure switches we have here. And then I'm going to take this camera and to come closer to this computer so you'll understand a little bit better what I'm talking about. As you will see here, the supply fan is got a differential pressure switch. It's a DPS. So this DPS will send the information to the building management control. And also we have a differential pressure switch here, because the differential pressure switch, it is the only control that will tell us if the fans are running. The smoke alarm, if the smoke alarm will be activated, then the heating will start working immediately. So I'm going to show you. So just imagine we'll have a problem and suddenly bang, we have a smoke alarm. So we already have an alarm here, right? Once we'll have this smoke alarm activated here, we have a smoke alarm activated, automatically the building management control will stop the Resna burner, will stop the supply fan, and you will be no airflow. This damper will be completely closed, the recirculating damper will be completely closed, and the only damper that will be open will be the exhaust damper, and this extractor fan will work. You will take the smoke with the hot air outside in case we have a problem with smoke inside the building, with smoke or fire inside the building. So I just want you to remember this. So every time the smoke alarm is activated, then the fresh air intake damper will be closed, the recirculating damper will be closed, and the only damper that will be open will be the exhaust damper, and the extractor fan will run. When the smoke alarm will come back to its initial status, then immediately the extractor fan will turn itself off, and the dampers will start to get their initial function for cooling, heating, or simple ventilation. This is quite simple how this air handling unit works. The most important things that you have to remember is that the air handling unit, even if you look simple like that, if you want to learn more specialist jobs, then you might have to have the F-gas if you want to work here in this area. With the cooling system, you have to have an F-gas. You have to be a control engineer if you want to deal with the building management control. You have to understand control. Then obviously you have to understand electrics, because you work with 415 volts. Supply fan, it's a mechanical job. You can change bearings or balance the scroll of the fan. And if you want to measure the airflow, you need a bit of more knowledge about air dynamics and so on. If you want to deal with the Resna burner, then you have to be a gas registered engineer. If you're not a gas registered engineer, I will suggest that you will not touch the burner, because you can end up in big trouble. This is the air handling unit explained very fast, and I thought you understood how this air handling unit works. It's quite simple. What you have to remember, you have a building management control, which is here. So you have a building management control. The building management control wakes up the system, and then you check the dampers right here. As you'll see, we have all these three dampers. We have all these three dampers. This damper, as you see, it's an exhaust damper. This is recirculating air damper, and then you have the fresh air intake damper. All this works together. If you'll take 10% out, you'll bring 10% out and then in, and then you will circulate 90%. So this recirculating work against the fresh air and the exhaust, right? The less you will bring and take out the air, the more you will recirculate. And you can use it only as a fan to bring fresh air from outside. And if you want to use this as a fan, you have to bring fresh air from outside here, and then to take air out from the store. And then you will not recirculate anything. You will just bring and take air out. If you want to use it on as a cooling, then you have to consider the temperature outside, and then to decide how much air you take inside the store. And if you need more cooling capacity, you have to bring the compressors live, and then this DX coil will cool the air and will bring cold air into the building. If you want a hot air, again, you have to consider how much air you bring inside the store. And if you need more heating capacity, you have to bring on this Resna burner. So this is it about the AHU. I hope you understood. It's a simple AHU is quite simple to understand, but as I'm saying, if you want a more specialized job to interfere with the cooling and with the heating and with the control, with the heating strategy, with controls philosophy of the building management control, then you know a little bit to be like specialized in this job. It's quite simple to check why cooling, if you have a cooling issue. Some simple steps you can do to check this AHU, why it's not starting on cooling mode. And also, if you need to check the heating issue, then you have to check to follow some steps to find out why it's not running. Okay, so yeah, this is this air handling unit. I hope you understood. I'm Mihai John. You have my phone number. If you have any problem, feel free to call me anytime. I'm going to put more video and to design more AHUs and to try to explain to the best of my possibility these AHUs. I do apologize for the mistake I do. English is my second language, and these videos are for free. And all I want just to share some of my experience with technicians that are on the field out there. Thank you very much.